Hello, it's Kim Jolene with Finding Your Fiji, and I'm here doing our Taurus reading for the month of October 2016. And today we're going to be working with the usual deck with our Angel Tarot deck, and then I will also be working with Archangel Michael's deck. And then we have a new deck that I'm introducing this month, and I'm super excited about it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it's a deck by Stephen Farmer, and that's the Power Animal Oracle deck. So we'll be using that one today as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I apologize for my voice. I have a little bit of a frog going on there, so I don't know if that's related to you guys and having a little bit of clogged throat chakra. Sometimes I will get that that will come through, because literally just as I sat down to do this reading is when it came up. So I'm like, is this something to do with them? So we'll see if that clears up as we move along. It may be something related to you. So we have, for the theme of the month, we have Four of Earth. And the Earth cards are all about how you make your money, what you need to do to be here on Earth. And this is somewhat of a duality card in that I want you to take a look and see which angel do you notice first. Do you notice the large angel in the center, or do you notice the small angel? Okay? See which one you notice. All right, now pay attention. So if you notice the larger angel first, that means you're being too cautious with your money, meaning you're being a little bit too tight with your money, right? And not letting it flow, as it were. So sometimes that can arise around a fear about losing it, or about not having enough, or not having more coming in, or whatever the case might be around that. But you're being too cautious about your money. Those of you that are seeing the smaller angel are being too frivolous with your money. So you are giving, spending your money in a not a very careful way, okay? And so that is part of what this month of October is about for you, depending on which angel you saw there. So then the other piece of this, the four, nope, I don't have my Bagua. That's fascinating. Well, I don't have the Bagua, so we're not going to be doing that in this particular part of the reading, but the four is related to wealth. I had a little bit of a mix-up around the numbers, if you've heard my readings before and have heard different numbers. The 4 is related to wealth. 8 does have a numeric meaning for wealth, and so that's when you look at numerology, 8 is about abundance. It's about that infinity, right? It's about abundance. But 4 in Feng Shui is for wealth, all right? And then this card is also talking about good business decisions. So part of what comes through in this card is really about a balanced approach to making decisions related to business, right? And so it feels like, you know, considering all the different options, that type of thing, and that you're doing a good job with that in the month of October. And then the other piece of this is giving. Okay, so this is also about giving to those that are less fortunate than you. So those of you that see the big angel, that you are attracted to the larger angel, you could be letting more of that money flow to charities, as it were, or people that are not quite as fortunate as you are, right? Okay. So let's keep working and moving through, not working necessarily, we're having fun, right? This isn't really work. I think it's cool that I get to call it my work, but it is a very, very enjoyable. Although I will say I'm in the midst of, you know, I'm posting these readings and editing and doing all the back work on my Angel Reading membership, and that is some work. That does take some work, but it is a lot of fun when I do get them out and get them up, and I'm already getting responses from people about how fabulous or how much they enjoyed it, so it's awesome. I love it. All right, so let's see what else we've got going for you for the month of October for our Taurus. So we've got the 5 of Fire, and this is a past card, so the basis of the situation. I feel like this is something that's already been going on for you. And the 5 of Fire cards are all about passion and action, and I also feel it's about you know, because fire in feng shui relates to the fame area, so it can be about your reputation, that type of thing. But this is kind of one of those chaos cards, like too much going on, too many irons in the fire, as it were, right? Just too many different competing goals, lots of little details, and just feeling like you can't get your head above water. And so part of what you need to do around this is really take a look at what is taking your time and attention, okay? What can you let go of? All right. So there's a lot of times, you know, if you're spending a lot of time on social media or watching TV or whatever it is, there's some of those things that are splitting your energy that aren't helpful and aren't giving you the time to work on the things that are really important. Okay. And so please take a good close look in October at what you're spending your time on and let go of those things that are not in the highest alignment, the things that aren't moving you forward, the things that aren't about your life purpose, right? Letting those go. Okay. Also can be a little bit of conflict with others this month, and I think part of that is just, you know, when you get super busy, then you get kind of cranky, right, Taurus? You get a little bit cranky, and then you're snapping at people, and then there's a conflict coming up there, right? So if you let go of some things and just be in a more easeful state, you will feel better, and so will the people around you, right? Okay. So we have then the Page of Fire. And again, fire cards are about passion and action, and this is a duality card. So on the one hand, it's about a person. On the other hand, it's about a circumstance or an experience. And I'm wearing your fire color today. So red is, of course, a fire color. You know, kind of that deep orange is also a fire color for you. So the person in this regard, when you think of fire people, they're confident, they're outgoing, right? This particular Page of Fire is a little bit of a Dickens, I will say. So they might just be one of those ones that, you know, the example I always use is they might play April Fool's jokes, that type of thing. They just can be a little bit of a shyster sometimes, right? And they think it's funny, right? It's funny to them. So that's part of it. And then they're also very creative. So they come up with creative ideas. They might be an artist. They might be a, you know, someone that is just artistic or is really just a creative thinker, that type of person, okay? And this person, I feel like, is involved in this new endeavor that's coming forth for you in the month of October. So it will be something that will come through and it's exciting to you, like you're excited about it. And this is something where I feel like this Page of Fire is going to be somehow have her hand in it. And I do feel like it's a female, so I feel like she will have her hand in that. And then the other piece that's coming through around this is really about looking at things from a different perspective and almost a behind the scenes perspective. So what they're showing me is, like, you know, rather than looking at it from the outside in, look at it from the inside out, if that makes sense. So, you know, if you are a top level manager, just as an example, if you're a top level manager, look at it from the perspective of the employees who are down in the ranks and what they're doing and what would help them, and what, you know, what could you create that would be helpful to them, okay? So that's just kind of an example about what they're trying to share with that, okay? But using your creativity is going to be very important. All right. And then we have Seven of Earth. And the Earth cards are all about how you make your money, of course, and this is sort of the patience card, right? But they're wanting to let you know that you've planted good seeds. So you really have, you know, you really have done some work around all of this, and you've got seeds planted with a lot of different people, and they're going to start to sprout. So you just have to be patient a little bit longer. And there's no need to worry, okay? There's nothing to worry about. Really just let go of that. Give that to the angels and let them take care of that, okay? Because when you're in that state of worry or fear or anxiety, it's because you're not in alignment with, you know, it typically is because you're not in alignment with what you're doing. Like you're trying, sometimes that can be where you're pushing things through rather than letting it just flow to you, right? So rather than being in a state of surrender, you're in a state of wanting to make things happen. And yes, we do need to take action. And I also, there's a balance to that, taking action, but taking inspired action, okay? Not just like, oh, I need to do this, that, and the other thing, which is kind of what you guys have been doing, running around like a chicken with your head cut off. So stop that, like, enough. You can have the same and actually much better results if you let go of the things that you think you should do and just do the things that you're inspired to do, okay? There's a difference there, a big difference there. And 7 in Feng Shui is related to creativity. And so that's, I feel like, playing off of that Page of Fire card too, about the creativity and being creative and using your creative talents to move forward, rather than trying to do things the way everyone else thinks you should do them. Okay, so let's see what Archangel Michael has for you, Taurus. So I'm not an astrologer, and one thing that I have been kind of looking at though is the different signs, and I kind of you know, what somebody called me out on, I was thinking Aquarius was a water sign, which it's not, it's an air sign. So I've been kind of looking at the different signs and their affinity towards the elements when I'm doing these readings a little bit too. So you guys as earth people are very much concerned about how, you know, how others, you know, about taking care of others, kind of, that's kind of a big deal to you. And so part of what can happen, and what I'm seeing around this, the 5 of Fire, where you've got so much going on, is you're just so concerned about everyone else. And you need to just stop and say, hey, I got to take care of me first. I've got to take care of me, or I'm not going to have any energy or anything left to take care of anyone else. So that's really, really important. Okay. So Archangel Michael wants you to take time making this decision. So typically when this comes up, it is a decision that you've been thinking about. It's in the past line, so typically it's something you've been thinking about, and he's wanting you to take your time and feel into it. Feel what feels right. Okay, you can certainly do the, you know, checks and balances on paper, like the pros and cons type of thing, but then really look at, what does it feel like for you? Does it feel like a really, really strong yes? Or are you uncertain about it, right? So that's where taking your time to make the decision is really important in the month of October. Okay, and then we have, which I swear to you, I did not even look at this card, but now we have be gentle with yourself. So I was already getting the information, and this is typically what happens for me, is they're already giving me the information before I even, you know, look at the card per se. But Archangel Michael really wants you to just be gentle with yourself and take care of yourself this month. So what he's showing me is that little lamb, and, you know, that you need to treat yourself like a little lamb and just be, you know, just be gentle and be kind and do self-care and, you know, make sure you're getting your rest and that type of thing. So that's where the sheep, he's showing me counting sheep, so he's showing me you need more rest as well, right? Funny. Very funny. Yeah, love that. Okay. And then we have Archangel Michael also telling you that the person that you're inquiring about, or you've been thinking about, and I feel like this relates to that endeavor, that that new business deal or whatever you're going on, that you can trust them. And so what I'm getting around that is that, you know, they are trustworthy, and that your heart is guiding you in the right direction, okay? So you're feeling that it's a good thing, even though maybe some other people might have said something about this person, but for you, they're going to be a stand-up person. They're going to be trustworthy. You're going to be able to trust them. So that will be good. All right. So let's do the power animals. I love this. I actually saw, which I don't see very often, but a woodpecker today. So I'm so curious. I did not look that up. I'm kind of curious though. I want to probably, after I'm done doing this reading, I will look up woodpecker, because I'm like, what is with the woodpecker? It wasn't on my deck. It was on my neighbor's deck, but still, I find it quite interesting that I happened to notice that woodpecker today. Which one do you want? That one. Okay. All right. So we've got whale coming through, and this is about honoring your life's purpose, your soul's purpose, okay? And it's, you know, when I think of whale, it's that journey, that long journey that you're on, and part of what has been happening for you, Taurus, is you've been honoring what everyone else wants you to do. Okay? You haven't really been following what your soul wanted to do before you came here. Your soul had a plan, right? Had an idea of what it wanted to do. And you're not really following that. You're letting other people dictate how you spend your time. And that's just not going to keep flying. It's just not going to fly. You've got to get back on the path to your soul's purpose. You have things that you meant to do while you're here, some important things. And so you've got to get back on that track, okay? And that's what whale is telling you around that. And then this is a possum, and this is about strategy. And I like this card. I like this card because it is about, you know, having plans in place. And, you know, as more earth people, you guys are a little bit more grounded. But having, you know, having the thought that, okay, you're going to go, like, I'm just thinking about this endeavor, like this exciting endeavor, right, for this month, that's coming through. So this comes up, and they also want you to sort of have a safety net for yourself around that, okay? So this is really exciting, but there should be some sort of backup plan or a safety net for you around that, okay? So, and it's kind of like, you know, when you have a business, having an exit strategy, okay? Because you've, you know, if you're not going to run the business forever, so then what are you going to do when the business is done? What's your plan to sell it, or who's going to take it over, that type of thing. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing around this too. And some of you that are getting closer to retirement age need to be thinking about that related to your business, about, you know, what's the exit strategy? What does that look like? Okay, so that's sort of your backup plan. And then the owl is the omens card. And I really love this because it is about you getting signs. So you're getting signs, and they want you to pay attention to the signs. And I also feel like owl has that broader perspective of things. And so the owl notices more, and that's where they're really wanting you to come in and notice the signs that you're being given, because you're constantly being communicated with. You have a whole team of angels and guides there for you, okay, that are helping you, that are meant to be here to help nudge you back on your path and to help you in this life. So take advantage of that. And if the signs aren't clear to you, ask for bigger signs, and then maybe they'll hit you over the head with it so you can get it, right? Because you're getting lots and lots of signs. So that's what we have for the month of October for you, Taurus. I do have deep dive readings available that cover in much, much more depth your career aspects, your finances, your health, and your relationships. If you're interested in that, there's a link below. You can check that out. And there's also a little blurb below to let you know what this month's reading is about for you in the deep dive. You get, if you join the membership, you actually get the audios as well. So you can go back and listen to them. You can download them and listen to them at any time. And so, there's just a lot of juicy documents and other support that I provide. It's kind of like having me as a coach, as a little bit of a group coach for each one of the zodiac signs, right? So that's what we have for you for the month of October. Remember, relax, have fun, and enjoy your life. Much love to you.